Welcome back. Today I want to talk about the 3 essentials, and these are essentially what Kriya Yoga is trying to give to you. It's what it's trying to develop inside of you. So you can say that these are the culmination of your yogic skills, which will allow everything else to unfold inside of your meditative practice. So let's get into it. So the 3 essentials are a name which I developed for these very, very deep Kriya Yoga skills. So we start out with heart rate variability resonance, looking for the 4 proofs, sitting very still, and beginning to learn to just let go and be. So those are where we begin. And as we sit very still, and we put that together with heart rate variability resonance, those two mix profoundly inside of ourselves. And it creates this cascade of events inside of the body and the mind. The body slows down, so the mind slows down. So then the body further slows down. We get deeper into the parasympathetic system, and so the mind slows down some more. And it's just down and down and down the rabbit hole we go. And through that, we begin to encounter the freeze response. And all of this comes from the dorsal vagal. And the yogi might feel that dorsal vagal as if it is his spine. So it will feel directly like it is the spine. So you have all these yogic lineages talking about the spine, talking about the innermost portion of the spine. And that is the perception of the dorsal vagal. And through that, we get the freeze response. So HRV resonance, sitting very still, they mix together, create a cascade of events inside of us. Boom. The freeze response naturally arrives. And now we're at the threshold of the very deep meditation. It's so deep. I get yogis all the time. Oh my God, I'm getting the freeze response. And I'm just over and over again, every single time I'm on the phone, shaking my head, going, oh my goodness. With all the yogis that I worked with for years and years, they would encounter that 10, 20, 30, 40 years into their practice. And because we are describing it very well, we're describing the process very well, we're using heart rate variability resonance, and boom, it just begins to appear in a very short period of time. It just blows me away over and over again. Every single time it blows me away. And you guys, you think it's so easy and natural. And it is. But it took all of us so long. It took so long, oh my goodness. So I'm really thrilled that everybody, so many people are encountering the freeze response so quickly and easily. It's really an amazing thing. It's actually a revolution. It really is. Out of that freeze response comes the tranquil breath. So the freeze response and the tranquil breath are hand in hand. And what's happening is a freeze is coming over the chest. And so the chest stops moving so much. And the breath is pushed down into the belly. So you have this lower diaphragmatic breathing low in the belly. And it can be a little bit fast. And it can be moderate. And it can turn so slow that you don't know it's there. And then it comes back and, oh, there it is. And then it disappears again. That is the very, very slow, tranquil breath. It's this automatic breath that arises inside of you because of the freeze response. So I cannot force it. I cannot control it. I cannot make it happen, but I can call it forth. I can induce it through heart rate variability resonance, sitting very still, encountering the beginning of the freeze response, and the tranquil breath shows up. So now we have two essentials: tranquil breath, freeze response. The third essential arises because we are cleaning ourselves out. Whatever therapy we are using on ourselves, it slowly works through us. We clean out the projections of the chakras, probably through Om Japa in the chakras. That's a wonderful, wonderful way to continuously clean out the chakras, get everything out of the way. And so what happens when we get everything out of the way, the consciousness, as we enter into this still moment, it just goes back home. It actually falls. It looks like it's being pushed upwards, rocketing upwards. No, it's just falling back to its home. If your nervous system is a tree, these are the branches, this is the trunk, and this is the ball root of the tree, and your consciousness is falling back to the roots. Isn't that beautiful? That's why in the Gita, Krishna says, if you know the tree, you know everything. You know the Vedas. You know all the truth if you know the tree. He's telling you, this is the essential piece right here. This falling back into the brain. That is the essential piece. That is the roll-up of consciousness. And so you'll hear people talk about, oh, I had energy shoot up my spine. Wonderful. Oh, I felt energy go up and down. Wonderful. Oh, I felt energy go through part of my body. Wonderful. When the energy shot up your spine, did you also notice what happened to your consciousness? That is the essential piece, not the energy. What happened to your consciousness? Well, I had these normal worries of my life. I was worried about my rent, I'm worried about my job, I'm worried about my boss, I'm worried about my family, on and on and on. I have all these natural worries and concerns about the world that I live in. And I was in all of that. I wasn't stressed out, but I was in all of that. And then all of a sudden I was raised up above that. And I looked back on those troubles from that state, and suddenly I can't be so concerned about it. Yeah, I'll probably have things to do and things that are on my list to do. Yeah, that's fine. But I can't be concerned about it the way that I was concerned before. What happened? Well, you had a roll-up of consciousness, maybe into the heart, maybe into the throat, maybe into the medulla, maybe all the way to the top of your head. You had this roll-up of consciousness, right? You might have felt the energy go up, but it was the consciousness that came with it. That's the big deal. And notice the difference. Notice that those normal concerns of the lower three chakras, right? Earth, water, fire, my possessions, my food, my security, my comfort level, my sustenance, my togetherness, right, with other people, my ambition, the things that I want, my fears that I have, all of that, those are the lower three concerns of the lower three chakras. All of that psychology is wrapped up in those chakras, right? And suddenly I'm above all of it. And it gives me this beautiful view that I was so wrapped up and I don't have to be. Right? I can live just a little more free if I have a roll-up of consciousness into the heart. Right? And so now I'm noticing, well, I was way down here, and now I'm kind of up here, and then I was kind of up here, and that's a roll-up of consciousness. That's what we want to notice. And it's very subtle. Sometimes we want this huge experience that will just kind of slap us across the face so we know that it happened. And sometimes it will be huge and big and in your face. And sometimes it will be very, very subtle. Oh, I was concerned and now I'm just in love. I'm just up in the heart and I feel clarity. I feel a clarity coming over me. And this is dharana, right? This is an essential part of the path of yogic meditation. We are entering into clarity. So it is the three essentials. that give rise to this profound clarity, that give rise eventually to absorption, feeling ourselves absorbed into the space around us. That is your mind detaching partially from the body and becoming one with the space around you. Spaciousness. You're entering into an absorption of spaciousness when you feel as if I can't tell where the edge of my body is. My body is getting numbed out through the freeze response. It's beginning to disappear from my awareness, and I'm feeling as if the air around me is actually a part of me. That is an absorption into space. Isn't that amazing? So we are entering into clarity and absorption. And the more that we hang out there, the more the non-dual state has a chance to arise and show itself to us. Again, we can't force it, but we can set up all of the conditions and induce it. And what's the best way to induce a non-dual state? Expansion. Expansion. Bliss and expansion. That's the very best way. So the three essentials are the very deep yogic skills that the Kriya Yoga wants to give to you through heart rate variability resonance, through Om Japa in the chakras, through sitting very still so that the freeze response arises inside of you. And then you will encounter the three essentials. So I hope you'll go through my book because all of this is laid out. It's a manual to show you how to find these three essentials inside of yourself and then what to do with them. So I hope you love this. If you did, be sure to hit that bell down below so I can see all of you.